Telepathically.
All right, thank you everybody for joining us tonight. Looks like we have another good room full of people and hopefully some good presentations for us to learn about. Chaplain Grubbs, if you could start us, as you always do.
Shall we take a moment? Oh Lord, hear our prayer. The evening is with us and the darkness of winter beckons us to the warmth of home. Yet our work together calls us for time and energy, of body and spirit even now. In many ways, our workplace also becomes our home. We're grateful for our work together, the fulfillment it brings, and the ties of friendship formed on a daily basis. Even now, our work seems that we're in a season of abundance and growth, fulfillment. We might even say our cups runneth over in ways that delight and surprise and challenge us. Our work is sacred, providing help for all people in need. We are convinced that our work is your work, O Lord, partners in healing and hope for any brokenness. Even now, there is so much need held in the rooms and halls of our hospital. Our community looks to us for help and hope, and that is our mission. May you give your blessing of guidance, sustenance, healing, and hope, that we may be rooted and grounded in the strength and grace of your care. And when it is time, give us rest for the evening. At home, in your peace we pray. Amen.
And everyone should have in front of them a copy of the agenda. I think that was also emailed and circulated around. We do have one new addition that we'll get to. It's the new business, item C, the committee assignments that I don't necessarily know is on the email, but we'll have that and we'll go through that. With that, we don't have any special presentations today. And everyone should have the minutes from our last meeting in front of them. And at this point, we'll entertain a motion, or if anybody sees anything we missed on the minutes, we can adjust.
Move approval.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right. With that, all in favor? Aye. Opposed or abstaining? The minutes pass, and we will move on to Mr. Haas and the Budget and Finance Committee. The general reports. Did the Budget and Finance Committee meet, Mr. Haas?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
We met Monday night. If I could, I'd like to speak to that for just a moment.
Well, sure.
Okay. We reviewed the quarterly report, the quarterly financial statements, and the 6-month financial statements through the end of December. And at that point, Britt gave us a very, very good report on the earnings of the hospital through the end of December. Might fill in where I leave out, but it looked like admissions were up over last year. They were up 6.3%, and our income for the 6 months was $7.9 million. That's after all expenses, interest, and everything. One of the concerns that we've got has to do with our bond portfolio and the effect of rising interest rates are going to have on the bond portfolio. And if interest rates continue to rise, we'll have a negative impact on our financial statements as a result of that. That's the bad news. The good news is it doesn't have anything to do with cash.
Okay.
It's just a requirement that we have to mark to market and report the change in the market values into our financial statements. And so our intention is to hold those bonds until they mature. At that point, we would have no loss. The other thing is that even though we report an income of $7,900,000, we've actually got another $8 million of profit that we're hoping to book here in the next few months. And we've actually got the cash in the bank. We're holding it temporary for the time being until we get instructions that we can book it. But we've got another $8 million. So our income is closer to $16 million instead of $8 million.
And that's from some of the special payment,
The disproportionate share.
disproportionate, right, there's so many different names.
Yes, you're probably aware by reading the paper that there's a constant battle with the state of Tennessee and CMS regarding the dish payments. And so until we get confirmation that we go ahead and take that money to the bottom line, we have elected to be conservative and not do that as the state has suggested. And keep in mind also from a cash standpoint, the public hospital supplemental pool, we draw that down once a year, and that will be drawn down in April. So we are accruing that each month as a receivable, but the cash will not hit our balance sheet until that April timeframe. And if we're going to get any additional disproportionate share of monies, if you remember, that always comes in at the end of June. And that's a cash impact as well. We do have several cost report settlements still outstanding positive to Erlanger. Again, I'm talking cash, and so we're hoping to the CMS to release those as well. So when you're looking at our cash, I did want to bring those three items up as well. But as Mr. Haas stated, we're very proud of where we are at this point, and I hope to continue. We're halfway through our fiscal year, and we're going to be starting our budget process. And so we'll be, within probably the next 2 months, we'll be working on it internally and then present that to the Budget and Finance Committee for their approval, with full board approval scheduled for the June board meeting.
We've got, in addition to our financial report, we approved 2 resolutions which will be coming up in a few minutes.
Okay, great, thank you. Dr. Kern? Joint conference, Dr. Kern? Did joint conference meet?
Yes.
Do we have any resolutions from it? No? One on consent? Okay. Planning committee?
We met, but we do not have a report.
Okay. Audit and compliance?
We met today.
Okay.
No report.
Report. Legal committee? Did legal meet this month? No meeting? MBEC?
We did not meet this month.
Meet this month? Personnel committee?
Also did not meet this month.
And grievance committee?
Part of the personnel committee did not meet this month. And just so everyone knows, that's a grievance is ad hoc when there is a grievance to review. So we rarely meet.
Okay. And with that, I don't think we have any other unfinished business. We will move on to the consent calendar. We have 2 resolutions on the consent calendar. I will entertain a motion for that calendar. Anybody?
Can someone just remind me who are the authorized check signers?
The authorized,
So
Britt?
Yes. Right now, we have the senior executives. These
Yeah.
are your officers.
Yeah.
So we're adding Dr. Will Jackson as
Yeah.
the additional signer there. And then in the past, it's always been the 3 officers of the board.
got it, the executive.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, with that, I move approval.
Okay, have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstaining? No? Then we will now move on to Mr. Goodrich on our Resolution 160103, authorizing construction of a consolidated outpatient infusion center at the main campus.
I'm actually going to introduce Tony Dotson, who's our Center of Excellence Administrator for our cancer program, and Dr. Larry Schlebach, who's the Medical Director of the entire cancer services, to present this resolution, and then we'll be available for questions afterwards.
Good evening. With this approval, we are seeking with this proposal, we are seeking board approval for the construction of a new outpatient infusion center on the ground floor of this physician office building directly adjacent to the radiation therapy department. The new center will replace the 2 existing infusion centers that we currently operate on the Baroness campus, and it will consolidate those services into one location, essentially creating a comprehensive cancer treatment center where all the outpatient therapies are provided. Over the next 5 years, outpatient chemotherapy volumes are expected to increase by 17% and 29% over the next decade. This new infusion center will help us meet that growing demand by increasing the capacity from 32 treatment chairs to a total of 38 treatment chairs. In addition to creating capacity, we'll also gain increased staffing, supply, and scheduling efficiencies, and we'll no longer have to operate and duplicate the resources in 2 different disparate locations. Most importantly, however, though, is the patient experience. Our current infusion centers are operating at capacity. They're often overcrowded. They're aesthetically challenged and located in these 2 disparate locations away from the radiation therapy department. By building this center on the ground floor adjacent to radiation therapy, we're creating a comprehensive cancer center with one common entrance, easily accessible to the public from the garage and also serviced by valet. Cancer patients will be able to easily access all their outpatient therapies right there in one location, one side of service, and therefore tremendously improving and enhancing that patient experience. The cost of the project is $2,532,261. It'll be funded out of fiscal year 16 capital budget, and it has a 5-year net present value of $1,539,796. We feel this project's critical to the expansion of our oncology program and a commitment that we've made to defragment cancer services on this campus. So again, we ask for you to please vote your approval of this resolution.
Do we have infusion centers like this? Like, do we have one out at East or anywhere else? Or and if so, how does that compare size-wise?
This board approved us to construct one last year, and we opened in June, right at the end of June, beginning of July, with a 16 chair capacity infusion center out there.
And how's that one doing capacity-wise? Is it?
It's many days. I'm out there 1 day a week, so we're all rotating through, and often when I'm there, it's almost full. So we started out, gradually and build it up, and so it's picking up in volume. And it's not just cannibalizing from what was here.
Right.
Some of our patients, obviously, in that region were able to transfer out, but we've far exceeded capacity of what we can do here. We have 2 places. One is up in the A tower in our office where we were at, and then there's a little room down here in the corner. We call it the dungeon, where we've treated patients. So this is to try to bring them all together into one location on campus.
And this was part of the fiscal budget.
Yes, it is.
So this is part of the capital budget.
Mr. Chairman, I have a question. Just looking at the net income statement, I just want to understand, why do contractual adjustments spike in year 5? 'Cause it's kind of odd, right, that net income would be highest year 1 and lowest year 5.
Trying to remember. Oh, you're talking about the contractual adjustments on the insurance? I think we just put an escalator in there to show that this could affect reimbursement over the next few years.
Yeah. And also, one of the things too, and I'm glad you brought this up, there is a mega guidance, what they're calling, for the 340B program. And the 340B program is for disproportionate share hospitals, which Erlanger is. And it's a special pricing that we can buy oncology drugs for compared to other hospitals. But there is some mega guidance at the federal level that the pharmaceutical companies are pushing, because obviously they don't like giving a lot of discounts. That may impact the ROI on this. All the hospitals and the medical essential hospitals are fighting a lot of the changes in that mega guidance draft. So we have enlisted our senators as well to help us fight that, because we think as written it will not get passed. But we have enlisted quite a few supporters to help us get that final mega guidance changed. But as it first came out, you can tell it definitely had a lot of pharmaceutical support in the writing. So But we have been conservative in that. But if that did get passed as written, these numbers would be different, just to
Okay.
be totally transparent.
Thanks.
Questions? What's the timeline on this one? I assume start soon and.
This is one project that we have been working on. The plans, they've been submitted to the state, so with your approval, we could possibly get started in 2 or 3 weeks and maybe be operational in July.
Mr. Chairman, I'd make a motion that we approve.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second? Second. Jennifer? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstaining? Thank you, guys. This will be another good project to move us forward. And we now, there's no name, but I'll take it. Well, yeah. I just, quick note on this one. This is a resolution. Basically, we as the board pass our own resolution assigning ourselves out to the various committees. And it's been, I've had conversations with a handful of people, tried to have some with everybody. But this is really where the meat and potatoes of where we kind of do our work and put ourselves on the committees and the Budget and Finance Committee and the Legal Committee. And so to everybody who's committed, and we all have to do it, but to everyone who's committed to their various committee assignments and to chair committees and all that, thank you. This is really a lot of the sort of unseen, although a lot of them are open meetings if anyone wants to go to them. There's some really interesting things that happen there, but this is where a lot of the time commitment from trustees really comes in. So thank you to everyone who's agreed to serve. It hopefully will be another good year. And with that, if there are questions, we can have them, but with that, we'll have questions and or motions to approve and sign up for our committees for the year. If you haven't read it, basically we assigned Jennifer to do everything.
I'm staying silent. Sorry, do we need a motion to approve the committee assignments? We do.
I think we do by bylaw.
Okay,
I think we do.
Thank you. All right, then I move we approve the committee assignments to which all of us agree.
We have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I'll ask for any opposing or abstaining. All right, now you'll all officially vote. You agreed to it, you voted for it, and Kitty will make sure we show up where we need to. I will say this, if we could get, and I know you have it, you sent it, if we could get the package of when everything meets, so everyone knows exactly when and where they need to go. Because we do have some pretty tight quorum numbers we have to hit. So, thank you, everybody. With that, we now have our informational reports. We're not doing any actual reports on those. Dr. Kern, did he sneak in as we were working? Okay, so we will not have a medical staff report from Dr. Kern today. Dr. Ford, do we have any reports?
Yes, sir. I do. Yes, sir. We have now received a total of 16 applications in the dean search. The committee will be meeting face-to-face next Thursday, February the 4th, at which time we're going to rank those applicants and narrow down the number a little bit, and we hope optimistically to start the interview process as early as late February. So we're making progress. Secondly, one of the primary responsibilities of the dean's office is to assure and maintain accreditation of our residency and fellowship programs. And just since January 1st, we've received notification of reaccreditation for the following programs: orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, our transitional year, internal medicine, colon and rectal surgery, vascular surgery, surgical critical care, general surgery, family medicine, and we've had a new application approved for a new program in gastroenterology. So we are moving forward.
Great. Thank you. Now, Mr. Spiegel, if you have your report for us.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. As I think Mr. Haas alluded, we had a very strong second quarter. Our net income from operation was $6.1 million compared to a budget of $4.6 million. The year-to-date net income from operations was $12.5 million compared to a budget of $9 million. Our regional growth continues to be strong and greater than last year, which was a great year. An update on Epic. I wanted to recognize the entire Epic team from IT. They received from Epic, who rates us of where we are in this journey, a 5 out of 5 on rating how we're progressing on the implementation. Additionally, we had informed the board that we were going to be adding about 100 FTEs to this project, and to date we have hired 90 of the 100 people already that are dedicated to the Epic implementation. So it's going on pretty significant. Also wanted to inform you that another academic medical center in Tennessee, Vanderbilt, has also selected Epic on their implementation. So they're going to be probably maybe a month before us. So we're in communication with them about how do we learn from them and ours, so we're going to be talking to them and others regarding the implementation. The Believe campaign kicked off yesterday. It was in today's paper and on the news. It was a great turnout, the media. I wanted to personally want to thank Tom Ed Wilson and Grady Williams, who are co-chairing that. Mr. Griffin was also at that meeting as well. The turnout was great. Additionally, wanted to just acknowledge Don Mueller and Bruce Kaminsky for their leadership, as well as the foundation, Julie Taylor. The new Orthopedic Institute is in process. I wanted to invite the board to take a walk through with Rob Brooks just to see the vision. It is pretty incredible. We're going to, at least tonight, it is a construction site, so it's not totally complete. But it's 6 ORs and 12 new beds will open in mid-March. So you can pretty much get a glimpse of how it's progressing and the extraordinary vision of creating an orthopedic institute with separate ORs and post-acute surgery care alongside to the beds, and really taking that patient experience and significantly increasing that experience. So I will ask Alan Bible and Rob Brooks to lead us on the tour as soon as the board ends, and then we can do the credentialing following that tour. Mr. Chairman, that's my report.
Thank you, sir. Any other reports or unfinished business from the rest of the trustees? And as Mr. Spiegel said, we're going to go do that tour, and then we have our credentialing meeting after that. So we'll be here for a little while longer, but hopefully it'll be a really good tour. And then I guess it's also worth noting that we're doing our strategic planning retreat Friday and Saturday up at Swanee. If anyone has any questions about logistics or when or where we're going to start, today would be the day, because tomorrow we're doing it. It's not a whole lot of time for confusion. So if you have any questions, I think we all know who to ask about logistics. Sitting right here next to me, Miss Kitty has all of that figured out. And I know that we have a lot of information coming at us. Everybody rest up and drink plenty of coffee. If you've not been to one of these before, it is a bit of a fire hose of information, but it's really good stuff. Yeah, the packets, they've been working on it. So everyone has upcoming meetings on here. And with that, if there's nothing else, we will adjourn the meeting.